Hey everybody, you're listening to the BTW Media Podcast, the show that explores the stories, innovations, and insights for people who love technology and the internet. Welcome back to BTW Media Podcast. I'm Faye. Today we're speaking with Dr. Michael Watts, NHS Innovation Accelerator Fellow and founder of Blüm Health. From digital consent tool to AI-powered speech therapy platforms, he shares how his frontline medical experience is driving meaningful change in healthcare, both in the UK and globally. Hi everyone, this is Faye from BTW Media, and this is Mr. Watts. Hello, Mr. Watts. It's a pleasure to meet you. Could you please give us a short self-introduction?
Sure. So it's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm Dr. Michael Watts. I'm a UK-based physician working in the National Health Service since the age of 18. I've since taken the leap of faith into industry to form an organisation called Blüm Health.
Okay, I've been following Blüm Health's works in digital healthcare, and I must say your approach to patient empowerment and collaboration with NHS Trust is truly impressive. As someone who is passionate about the future of healthcare, I'm really excited to hear about your insights at this event. I'm looking forward to learning more about your project and how they are making the real impact. I'd love to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the first one is, as an NHS doctor and Innovation Accelerator Fellow, how has your medical experience influenced the development of the digital health solution at Blüm Health? And could you provide an example where this insight significantly impact the outcome of the project?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps to be a healthcare professional that is actively innovating. One of the things I would say is it's not the only thing required to create a good innovation. Innovation should be patient-centered, it should be experience or expert-led, but it should be market-informed as well. So whilst we are leading on the change and innovation, we're always thinking about the patients, and we're also thinking about the market and the way that the healthcare industry as we know it is transforming. So it's been fundamental to Blüm's success to have clinicians at the heart of everything we do, as well as patients, as well as engineers. And the good thing about having doctors and other healthcare professionals involved in the development means that we can identify things like clinical risk and regulatory compliance requirements from the outset, because far too often do we see innovations actually build a product and then realize that it's non-compliant or it's risky. So we're able to spot that from the earliest outset to get the earliest value to our patients and workforce. One example of this was where we've built a burns application. It's used by 20,000 people and it helps calculate how much fluid to give a burns patient. We actually recognized quite early on that when we were taking pictures of burns, the client had asked that we take pictures of burns, and we said, well, actually we should be consenting for that. So we had to build a whole digital consent process ahead of the actual photo to ensure that we were compliant with GDPR and also the medical laws around clinical photography. So just one example of where we've been able to instill much more than just the development process.
That's quite helpful, I think. And the next one is, can you share the recent project from Blüm Health where innovation led to tangible improvement in patient care, and how did collaboration with university or NHS Trust contribute to the success of that project?
So there's a really nice project, and it's with Homerton NHS Trust down in Hackney in London, and it's a project called Verbo, Verbo, and it provides virtual speech and language therapy support to children in schools that would otherwise be missed because there's not enough in-person support for all the children that require communication needs. So it's a digital platform. It effectively enables teaching assistants and special educational needs coordinators to be able to deliver some level of support to children. It's never going to be a replacement for speech and language therapists. That's not what we're doing. But what we're doing is we're giving children that otherwise wouldn't get any support that ability to have support from those that aren't trained to be able to do so. So we're using virtual tools, digital tools, to be able to support more children at a lower cost without the need for travel where there are significant staffing gaps. And it's a really nice project as well because the feedback is always so nice.
Okay, so you have supported SMEs in internationalizing early. What advice would you give to healthcare tech startup looking to expand beyond their local market, particularly in the highly regulated healthcare sector?
Yeah, I mean, regulation is one of the barriers to internationalisation, but what I would say is that we internationalised quite early on, not only because of the turbulence of a healthcare market. As you've seen in the news, the healthcare market in the UK is constantly changing and evolving, and that can create some disruption, especially for small businesses. So internationalisation was our way of de-risking that. We haven't moved away from the UK. The UK is still our primary focus, and we would encourage every small business to continue to support the UK healthcare industry. But by diversifying, you actually get such a better and richer experience of populations, different cultures, different religions, and how they appreciate care and how they appreciate digital technologies used in the healthcare industry. So there's a lot to be learned by internationalisation, but if anything, it's just an opportunity to support more people and explore more opportunities, which obviously is how a business grows. For us, it was really important, but it's also important to recognise the risks like cost, like regulation, like distraction. So it's just about following those opportunities to really make a difference.
Yes, and I'm also curious about what has been the response to your project in the UK.
It's been incredibly positive. We were recognised as one of the fastest growing healthcare companies for 2025, which was a great privilege. And I think that's because of our keenness to collaborate, to work with hospitals, universities, charities, to be able to bring everyone together. And we're merely the development partner. You know, we just enable change through innovation and through development. We've been able to support so many different organisations in so many different ways, and that reception's been really good. And I think that comes down to not wanting to try to own everything that we do, not trying to let perfect get in the way of great, and actually saying, well, what's the minimum amount of value we can get out there to start to make a difference, and we build from there. And these are just some of the things we've learned over the years is the best way to start to really make a difference within what is ever moving and ever complex healthcare industry.
That's good. Besides this question, do you have any other idea you want to share with us?
No, I'd just give it a go. I'm a bit of an open book. If anyone wants help in where to start within the industry, within the UK particularly, or what we're doing internationally, I'm always open to supporting and collaborating. But I would say that whilst on the face of it, the UK looks like a complicated industry, it's still got so much to give. There's still so many problems to be solved, and the opportunities are there. It's just finding the right opportunities. And yet you might find a gap in the market, but you just need to make sure that there is also a market in the gap and that there's enough there for you to solve before you build your innovation.
That's a good answer.
Thanks, Faye.
Dr. Watts, thank you for your sharing the insights today. It's clear that Blüm Health is making the real difference in patient care through this innovative digital solution and collaboration with the NHS Trust. Your advice for SMEs looking to expand into a regulated market is extremely helpful, and I look forward to seeing how your work continues to shape the future of the healthcare. And thank you again for your time.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another episode.